Hi Gemini, this is your horoscope for 2015 with me, Lada from Astrolada.com, where you can find out my birth chart calculator. To find out what your ascendant sign is, make sure you check the prediction for 2015 for your ascendant sign, rising sign. If you know your exact time of birth, check it at your birth certificate or ask your mother. Because the ascendant sign is the astrologically most correct and it shows you the most tangible and real events that happen in your life, and you can find it out at my birth detail table, like I'm showing you on the screen behind. Find out your ascendant, its sign and its degree. Also, you can listen to this video if your sun sign is in Gemini. Everyone knows their sun sign. You know, if you're born in June or the end of May, you're Gemini sun sign. But always start with your ascendant sign in Gemini. If it's in Gemini, you know, and then listen to your sun prediction. And especially if I mention specific days, like, you know, the day you're born, or the exact degree of your ascendant, or the exact degree of your moon, if it's Gemini or Sun. Anyway, what does 2015 hold for you, Gemini? Let's start with the small hand of the clock, the cosmic clock. Basically, Saturn is the planet of karma, and Saturn is a very slowly moving planet. It shows where we have to put a lot of effort. It shows where we have to work very hard, where we have to really persevere if we want to see some results, where we have to put a lot of self-discipline, and where we have to take the slow and hard path rather than the fast and easy one. And for the past 2 years, Saturn has been in your 6th house. And 6th house, and this is where you've been tested for 2 years. First of all, 6th house rules health. So some of you, I've had a lot of Gemini rising ascendant people and a few less Gemini sun people who came to me in the last 2 years telling me that they have health problems, or that they're really serious about changing their lifestyle, their health habits. And a lot of Gemini were able in the last 2 years to actually create a new regime, a new lifestyle of health routines, which would really stick with them for many years. Saturn passes through your 6th house once every 29 years. So you have almost once in a lifetime or twice in a lifetime chance twice in your lifetime usually, or if you live to 93 times in your life, such a rare opportunity to really start on some health regime and incorporate some health changes which will stick for you for a long time. And usually Saturn makes us do those things because we feel unhappy there, or because some problems start appearing, and because 6th house is your health. And a lot of Gemini have been having either health problems or not feeling so well, or starting to feel the heaviness of unhealthy food regime, or lack of exercise or movement, or too much stressful life without the relevant way of letting go of negative energy. So, you know, usually when Saturn is in your 6th house, all those issues start coming to the surface. So people have the chance through perseverance, hard work, and self-discipline to take on a new health regime and path. Many Gemini ascendant people that I had in the last 2 years come and say, we became vegetarians, or we started working out, or, you know, I'm waking up much more early now, or I've rearranged my routines in such a way that it's much healthier, my life is not so stressful. But initially it's a difficult process. And Saturn will again for a few months be in your 6th house. In 2015, not the whole of 2015, but from June till September 2015, Saturn will be again in your 6th house. From the beginning of 2015, Saturn goes from your 6th house, and goes to your 7th house. So the themes start changing, but again from June till September they come back. Saturn starts moving backwards again and goes back to your 6th house. So you have one last chance from June till September to make some life-changing health regime and health regimes that you can change. Many people can lose weight now, you know, many people can really go on a so much more healthier lifestyle. So if you haven't been able to do it in the last 2 years, then again from June till September 2014, you have the last chance to do that. And sixth house also rules your everyday routines, like what time you wake up, your hygiene, do you brush your teeth, how many times a week do you have a bath, how do you arrange your working routines. And Saturn usually, when it's in the sixth house, really help people become much more organized and efficient in their daily routines. At work, for example, if before Saturn went to your sixth house, you were much more disorganized, or it took you twice as long to get some job done. When Saturn has been for the past 2 years in your sixth house, and again from June till September 2015, again you have the last chance to reorganize your life and your routines to make them work better. Also, Saturn in the sixth house often brings topics of debt. The sixth house rules debt. So a lot of you had to deal in the past 2 years to resolve some debt, to consolidate debt, to pay off debt, tackle off such material, practical, tangible problems in their life. And often sixth house also rules enemies, enmity. So people, a lot of Gemini might have had to resolve such enmities with others, where they're unequally placed with another person. They have to confront such situations and learn how to be most productive and how to win in such situations, or how to resolve such conflictual situations, because sixth house rules all those things, trials and tribulations, slings and arrows of outrageous fortunes, as it says in Shakespeare says. So dealing with the practical side of life, you become, after Saturn's been in your sixth house for 2 years, and again for a little bit in 2015, after that it moves into your seventh house. And basically the themes really start changing in your life. The difficult lessons that you had learned till now, they were about health, they were about routines, about structure, about hard work. When Saturn is in the sixth house, people are called to work very hard. Often like they don't have much time for themselves. Often they have to, especially jobs which are very detailed, very routine, very repetitive as well, kind of that take a lot of their energy as well. But when Saturn starts moving into the seventh house, which starts from the beginning of 2014 and will continue till almost till the end of 2017, so for the next 2.5, 3 years ahead, for Gemini, the lessons will be in their seventh house, the difficult lessons, which are lessons of relationships. Seventh house is the other person. And actually Saturn moves again, I keep repeating, from June till September in your sixth house, but then again from September 2015 till almost the end of 2017, it will be in your seventh house. So for the next 3 years, you have to learn how to do relationship properly. And you cannot cheat, you cannot choose the fast path, you cannot fool around during this period, because anything, or if, for instance, if you're Gemini ascendant or Gemini sun to a lesser degree moon, and you've been cheating till now, or you've been not very serious in your relationship, or you've never been too much committed, or you didn't keep your promises to partners, when Saturn goes in your seventh house, if you don't change those behaviors, they will backfire on you. They'll basically, you either get caught, or dishonest dealings with others in business partnerships or personal relationships will really bite you in the back. So when Saturn goes in your seventh house, starting from the beginning of 2015, you need to straighten your path and straighten your game when it comes to relationship. You need to learn to give and receive equally. You need to learn to, or if you've been in past lives, harmed someone, if you've done or neglected someone in relationships, this person might come now in your life and you have to pay back. I don't want to scare you, it's not always that bad. Most people have been quite good in previous lifetimes. There are very few people who are naturally evil, probably 1% or 2-3% of humans are like that. But usually these are some mistakes of neglect that we've done in the past towards others, towards relationship, or if we allowed a partner or relationship to take too much from us. If you've allowed relationships which are unhealthy for you, if you've allowed people, partnerships, business, or personal, who take too much or who are disloyal to you, now again you can meet, this can become very, for the next 2-3 years, such a big theme in your life that you are forced to say no, to put a barrier and to say no longer will I allow such people in my life, people who take advantage of me, people who are neglectful to me, people who lie to me, And usually we learn the hard way. Wherever Saturn is, and it will be in your 7th house for 2-3 years ahead, you learn the hard way about relationships. You might have some disappointment in love, so you finally realize what kind of people to allow next to you and which no. Or maybe one of your negative behaviors in relationship, like I said, you've been doing something wrong, or neglecting a relationship, or not keeping your promises in business or personal relationships. These things will come to bite you back, or to show you the results of your actions. It's not like God will punish you. It's you're seeing the results. Wherever Saturn is, karma comes for you, which means that you see the results finally of whatever wrongful actions you've done. Sometimes it might go back even to past lives. So you have to be very, when it comes to relationships, you have to be hardworking. You have to be honest. You have to be very moral when it comes to relationship. When you make a promise, you have to keep it. And Saturn makes, usually when it's in the 7th house for 2-3 years, once every 30 years, it makes the person become very serious about relationship. You no longer allow everything comes and goes in relationship. You take things seriously. You don't feel like superficial relationships anymore. You don't feel like one night stands anymore. You want something committed and stable. This is what Saturn is like. And some of you who've been already in relationships, and those relationships, you've been neglecting the relationship, or something is not going too well. Now it can really come to the surface in the next 2-3 years. And if this relationship is a good one, and if you want to work for it, if you work hard on it, if you change your ways and your approach, and if you set some barriers and limits and talked with the person, and the other person is willing to work with you as well on the relationship, those relationships will only be strengthened in the next 2-3 years. They will be tested, but they will be strengthened if they're truthful, if they're constructive relationships in your life, if the necessary adjustments are done, you'll see good results, even deeper commitments. Even sometimes people get married when this happens because they get more serious. But if the other person is not serious enough, or not committed enough in the business, or if the other person is, or if your feelings are not strong enough, and if you're both not willing to work on those relationships, within the next 2-3 years, those relationships will be removed from your life. And basically, who will first feel this? Because not all Geminis will immediately in 2015 start seeing those results, or have those important things in relationship happen with them. Mostly those Gemini who are born in the beginning of Gemini, basically the May-born Geminis, those who are born from around the 22nd of May to around the 29th of May, they will definitely feel this Saturnian influence of having to be more serious, having to be more responsible with others, and in their goals in life, and having to work much harder than before. Definitely Saturn wants you to work much harder, not only on relationships, but on many things in your life. And if you might create some new business partnerships, Saturn is work. Saturn is a planet of work, and 7th house is business, dealing with others one-to-one. But you have to work very hard again. Business partnerships tend to fare better when Saturn is in the 7th house, when they're based on mutual work together. Or especially who will feel Saturn in 2014, those of you who have their ascendant in the first 7 degrees, in the first approximately from 0 till 7-8 degrees the most in Gemini, or if you have your moon from 0 till 7-8 degrees in Gemini, or your ascendant from 0 till 7-8 degrees in Gemini, 2015 is a deciding year for who stays in your life, for how you keep having your relationship. Your biggest lessons come to you through others, through your relationships, through your responsibilities toward others. And reevaluation of your behaviors in relationships and attitudes in relationships. So a lot of people can fall off from your life, or unhappy relationship, or unproductive ones. And the rest of Gemini, those who are born after the 29th, 28th onwards of May till the end of June, they will feel it from 2016, 17, because it comes a bit later. That Saturn goes over those degrees. But anyway, you're already, even if you're born in the later degrees, you start feeling the shift from 2015 towards more responsibility in relationships, and readjustment of your leaving only what is real in regards to relationships, getting a reality check in regards to relationships, which can be painful often. Okay, and then we said enough of the karmic difficult planet. This is the hard taskmaster Saturn, which brings us the difficult lessons. Let's see Jupiter. Jupiter is the bigger hand of the cosmic clock because it moves much faster. It takes 1 year to pass through one of your houses, as we call it, one sign. And Jupiter is a benefic planet, the great benefic. Wherever it passes through, this is where you get things more through God's blessing. This is where the universe gives you. This is where if you've worked before hard on something, you can start getting really good results now. Or even you can get luck there. Without having worked, new opportunities can come to you there. And from the summer, basically from around July 2014, Jupiter went into your third house. And will continue to be there till August 2015. So you have almost a year, basically from the beginning of 2015, if we're talking only about 2015, till around the end of the summer, till around, for the northern hemisphere, till around August, the end of August 2015, that you can grow in areas regarded to your third house. Okay, what is third house? So this opportunity started opening to you from July 2014, as we said. Third house is, first of all, relationships with siblings. So Jupiter, if you've had some difficult relationship with siblings, they can start improving now. You can reach out to, siblings and neighbors, those in your immediate environment that you spend daily, teammates, playmates, workmates, some friends that you meet daily to have coffee, to gossip with. People that you communicate on a daily basis with. Usually these are our siblings, usually these are the people at our work, our teammates, our schoolmates, our relatives that are around us, our neighbors that are around us, those in our immediate vicinity and environment. You can improve relationship with them. Also the life, if you had a sibling which had difficulties in their life, things can start picking up for them. Or you can resolve a conflict with a neighbor or conflict with teammates. So you can benefit a lot by working in teammates, in teams with others, like brainstorming, cooperating with others, finding associates to work with. Third house is all those, So if you are planning to do some business or if you have something important to do, make sure that you don't do it only alone. Make sure that you cooperate with a few other people in a team. You have better results till the August 2015. Also trips. When Jupiter goes into the third house, third house rules travel. So people usually tend to be able to travel more. Whether for pleasure or business, doesn't matter. But if you've had blockage, for example, to go to a foreign country or to travel somewhere, till now, when Jupiter is in your third house till August, you might be able to get a visa or might be able to finally be able to afford some trip somewhere, travel, move around, So that's another positive thing. Third house rules communication and expands the mind, the lower mind, the logical mind more. And third house rules skills. When Jupiter passes through the third house, many people develop natural inclination to learn new things. They become inspired to learn new things. It's not like they have to because their boss tells them to, but no, they find some new subject that they're interested in, and they start voraciously getting all information and absorbing all information about it. And usually it's practical skills that third house rules. So some of you might learn to speak a language when Jupiter is in your third house. Others might learn to drive a car. That's another skill. If you haven't been able to, if you didn't know how to, now you can do it. Others can take some courses in knitting or in swimming or in using marketing and media. Third house rules all media. Third house rules all communication. So any business connected with marketing, with social networking, with advertisement, with using the spoken or written words, like teachers, like speakers, public speakers, like people like me who are, I'm sitting here speaking to you, explaining things, who are teaching you things. If you're in any kind of such career, writing, speaking, communication, journalists, exchange of information, work that involves a lot of paperwork as well, they will have a very productive year ahead, almost till the end of the summer for the Northern Hemisphere, till the end of August. they can really benefit. If you have your own business, you can start doing marketing for it now. You can learn some fantastic marketing tricks. When Jupiter was in my third house, I learned how to do social networking. I learned how to Facebook, how to gain new clients through Facebook. I learned how to do green screen shootings. I learned a lot of new skills connected to my field of expertise, and they were practical skills with which I can promote the business. So if you're in any of those areas of work, great 2015 for you. Most careers nowadays, most white-collar careers are very much third house oriented, because they're about making reports, communicating, exchanging information with others, presenting things. So usually if you're Gemini and Jupiter is in your third house, you'll learn a lot of new skills there, and you increase your skills in communication. Now, all your skills overall, they will improve while Jupiter is there, and they will expand, and they'll help you expand even your business, So communications, your biggest source of growth till August is coming to you from communications. You can make a lot of new contacts, a lot of new even clients, people that you cooperate and work with. You can start learning new things, So fantastic. When Jupiter was in my third house, I found a lot of associates to work together with, because third house rules associates. And it was very beneficial, So these are the kind of things which will bring you growth, expansion, which will happen with ease, learning new things as well, traveling. Okay, and then from August onwards, Jupiter starts moving into your fourth house. And fourth house is the foundation of the horoscope. It's like below your feet exactly. It's basically like where the horoscope is sitting in. So it's sitting on. So it's like your home, your family, your personal life. Your biggest source of joy and growth become your family. Starts becoming your home. All of a sudden, when Jupiter goes into the fourth house, people start spending more time at home, because this is where they feel more recharged. This is where they feel most happy. They start looking more introvertly into their own emotional needs, because fourth house rules what emotional needs you have, what makes you happy. You stop neglecting your needs, and you start taking care of your soul a bit more. And that's why by the end, when Jupiter goes out of the fourth house, it stays there for 1 year. So basically from August 2015 to around August 2015, by the end of this process, you will feel more emotionally happy within yourself, more, because you would have met a lot of your private personal needs. You would have paid attention more to your soul. Also, fourth house rules property. So many Geminis, especially Gemini ascendant people, to a lesser degree Sun or Moon, can expand their home, can buy new property, can relocate to a better place, and it so happens with ease, and they're happy for that, and they feel, inspired to do it, and things just happen smoothly there. They can build up a new garage, or they can start gardening. This is again the home, something which really suits them a lot, or they can find a patch of ground and start doing their own vegetables, and they just feel happy and positive about them. Or fourth house also rules vehicles. So I've seen many people, when Jupiter transits their fourth house, they buy a better, bigger vehicle. They're quite happy with their vehicle. They reconnect with family and close ones. Any relationships, problems with their closest people, like their mother, their personal own family, can be smoothed out. And the family becomes the biggest source of joy for you. And again, property, you can buy land, you can buy a new place, you can relocate, you can expand your home. And so this is what Jupiter will bring you from August onwards, 2015, to almost till the summer of 2016. Positive expansion in regards to fourth house matters. Okay, so, and particularly auspicious in that direction will be the summer. Basically July, August, September, around this area, around this time. Okay, so I want to give you now some specific days. Those of you, Geminis, some of you have Neptune transit, which happens once in a lifetime. This Neptune transit continues for 1 or 2 years, but only few Geminis will feel it. Those of you who have their ascendant or their moon from 5 to around 11 degrees in Gemini. 5 to 11 degrees of Gemini. They have Neptune transit, and I'll tell you in a second what it means. Or those of you who are born from, let's see, 5 degrees, 5 to 11. From around the 27th of May till around the 3rd of June. So around from around the 27th, even the 26th, I would say 27th, from around the 27th of June, till around the 11th of June, they're having Neptune transit, just like those with the degrees I mentioned from 5 to 11. Neptune is about, and it continues the whole year, and you might feel it also in 2016 after that as well. And Neptune tends to dissolve whatever it touches. It tends to make a person feel a little bit more lost. I want to warn, because it's a very emotional planet. It's once in a lifetime transit. It kind of can defocus you. It can remove the focus from you. It can make you be less motivated, be more tired, because Neptune sucks out a little bit the energy. Neptune can weaken also the immune system a little bit. But, you know, for people who are in extremely, like, let's say, corporate environment, where all their work is about numbers or about rational things, Neptune, if you're born on those days, Neptune can kind of make you more detached towards those things, more emotional, and because of that, not being able to be extremely focused on more practical matters. But for those of you born on those days or with those degrees who have Neptune, who are in creative pursuits like music, like art, like painting, like in kind of spiritual activities, then Neptune can be extremely wonderful time for you. It can be extremely inspirational time for you, the Neptune transit. People, usually musicians or painters or writers, create some of their most inspired, romantic and beautiful pieces of art around that time. But people who are practically minded, who are much more materialistically minded, Neptune transits feel to them very confusing. They're like, you know, because Neptune connects you to your higher self, to God, to the invisible worlds, and they don't feel themselves. They feel like they're too sensitive. They feel like they have weird feelings. They feel like they get too romantic or daydream too much, a bit unfocused, not so much energized. But for spiritual people, and even if you're not spiritual, if you're born on those days or those degrees, develop some spiritual practice now to keep you grounded. Be more in touch with nature. Stay out more in the sun. Walk barefoot in nature to ground yourself, because Neptune really ungrounds one. Neptune really disconnects you from reality. But anyway, this is what I see for you, Gemini. Thank you so much, and I will see you next year.